Hello, welcome to the Happy Night Project. So, tonight, welcome mga kahappy. Kahappy. So, I'd like to share with you something about moving on. And I know that it's hard to move on, especially these days. It's pandemic, and if your heart is broken during this time, I honestly could only just give you a hug from here. So my virtual hug, but I know that in due time you can be able to move on. There's really no particular guide that would allow you to move on right away. But one thing is for sure, slowly and surely you'll be able to do that. How can you do it? You move on when you totally remove yourself from the situation. If you're in a romantic relationship, one of the easiest way for you to be able to do that is to delete everything. So erasing someone from your heart is definitely difficult. You cannot do it right away. But if you're going to erase that person from your phone book, erase the photos of that person. If you are going to listen to the song that goes something like this, put away the pictures, put away the memories, The Art of Letting Go, it's one of my favorite songs about moving on because it's really all about the action. It's really telling you that the first thing that you have to do is to act on it. And the best thing to do it, the right time to do it is right away. So when you act on something right away and then you shock yourself, it's like an ice bath. So it's something that is shocking, but after you take an ice bath, it's good for you. You will feel the rush, you will feel all the cold feeling, but you know, it will definitely feel strange. It's different from your usual bath, but you have to shock yourself. I know that being heartbroken is not an easy feeling. Like, it destroys us from within, and it's harder to rebuild ourselves if we have built a lot of dreams with that person, a lot of memories with that person. If financially we were able to invest as well, and most especially if you were able to spend a lot of time with that person, the time that you cannot get back, because that time is equivalent to an investment, right? In any investment, we cannot say that it's an investment if you give it right away and you don't pour out your best in it. When we're investing into something, we're looking on the long-term return of an investment, and you're expecting that there's an interest or a gain out of it because you have invested your time and effort on it. But let me assure you something, there's really no guarantee that when you invest, it will come back the same. Like when you invest your heart wholeheartedly, it's not a guarantee that you can get the same heart as it is when you give it out. There are times wherein we get pieces of it, although it's not broken. There are times that when you give it out, it will be returned back to you, no exchange at all. And then you're left with broken pieces. So, what are you going to do with those broken pieces? Are you going to put them all together? You can move on, definitely. So erase everything that would remind you of that person, unfollow them, because it will definitely be harder for you if you're still stalking them. And giving time to an ex, giving time to a person who destroyed your emotion is not good for your mental health. It's not good for your emotion, because the moment that that person let go of you, you should be able to do the same. Even if in your heart you still love that person, but the moment that you delete the memories in your phone, in your address book, in your phone memory, like it's gone. And don't ever try to recover it. So first, when you're moving on, delete everything. Delete the contact number, unfriend, block that person. If the breakup is okay and you're okay to be friends with that person, go by all means, be friendly. But are you really the type of person who would do that? Is it really from your heart that you'd like to be friends with your ex lover? If the answer is yes, go. Don't do anything. Let's move on to number two. To move on, don't force yourself. Don't force yourself to revenge. Like, don't force yourself to have the revenge body, to have a revenge output, to have a revenge goal, just because of that person. You're doing the revenge not for that person, but instead of looking at it as a revenge, reward yourself. Reward yourself now that you're totally free from that person who cannot love you any longer. Remove yourself and reward yourself by taking time in taking care of yourself, that this time around you no longer share the same energy and the same effort to another person. Instead, all of those lovely energies, all of those positivities, all of those love, you give it to yourself first. And the moment that you're able to do that, then when you give your heart once again, it's completely whole. Not because the person gave it back to you as a whole heart, but because you're able to rebuild yourself into pieces of even bigger heart for the next person. The next the next thing that I would suggest when you're moving on is you you stay away from the crowd. What am I saying is for you to be able to take a step back and really have a quiet moment. It could be through a form of meditation, it could be through prayer, it could be through positive self talk, and for you to be able to reflect without the noise, without the feedback of other people. Because when you're trying to move on, you want to be able to listen to your heart. If you're feeling sad, you really should feel it. Don't deny it. Acknowledge that there is pain and take it. Take that feeling with you. Be quiet. Cry it out because it's really good for you to really cry and listen to yourself. I remember when it happened to me, I felt like there was a big air trap somewhere and I couldn't find the reason for it. I was just not feeling well, and it's not an easy thing. There's really no easy way when your heart is breaking. And there's one song, right? Like smile when your heart is aching, smile when your heart is breaking, something like that. So you cannot be smiley all the time. But what I can tell you is to stay away from the crowd, from their noise, from all their advice, and just listen to yourself and listen and mean it well to really listen to what you really want. How you're going to move forward as a person is really up to you. That person who took away your time, your effort, and your resources should not be able to take your life, your life as a whole. Don't let that person take it away from you because he's only taking the memories and the time from you. But don't let that person trap you forever because definitely there's a lot of hope and there's a lot of joy reserved for you. Only this time, it's no longer with that person. There is a person meant for you. So I guarantee you, if your heart is broken now, that doesn't mean that you will not love again. So hi, hi sis, thank you for watching. So when your heart is broken, always remember that you can always get the same love back. Okay? So kapag na broken heart ka, wag mong iisipin na yun na yung katapusan mo. Pag na broken heart ka, that's the start of your journey as a person who has the capacity to move forward. Next is when your heart is broken, you can do the things that you thought you cannot do. So if for example you're a person who planned traveling with your ex lover, go for it. Travel. Why? It's nice to travel alone, right? And then really focus on yourself. Who knows? Your next friend or your next special friend, as a friend, can travel with you and create new memories together. And don't force yourself to be able to move on just because you are traveling alone. So traveling will just allow you to take new memories, take new photos, and replace the photos that you deleted with that person with one photo or two photos that you're able to do it alone on your own. And then the next one is for you to rediscover yourself. If you love to sing, sing again. If you love to paint, paint again. If you like to eat, eat alone and share it the next time you're ready, or eat together with your loved ones, or prepare them meals. I mean, there are times wherein we're so focused with those people who don't give us value, and we always run after them. But there are people who are just in front of us and we cannot even pay attention to them. And they deserve everything. They deserve all the love as well because they're giving us the best, whether we are whole or whether we are broken. So focus on these people. Focus on these people who really see your worth and who see your value despite your brokenness, despite you being broken. These people will be there to build you up. So be careful and try to regain your connection with these people and don't be afraid. And lastly, I'd like you to be able to take the moment and know that you're not alone. So, how you're going to be able to move forward is to know that you're not alone in this journey. I know it sounds positive, and I don't want to have any toxic positivity, but know that you're not alone and you're not the only one who's going through this. But what sets you apart is how you can overcome this. The way you overcome situation is different from the way another person is going to do that. But one thing is for sure, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So I wish you all the best. I'm going to have a next another session, another live about this particular topic. But I'd like you to know that this is the start of the Happy Night Project. I know I've been trying so many times. I've tried food, I've tried vlogging, I've tried farming, I've tried cooking, but I will not stop and I will still continue finding the voice until I'm able to tell the story that you'll be more comfortable and you'll be able to see me as a person behind all this. So this moving on is something that I would also like to remind myself that whether I got my heart broken for trying so many things and still not working, I want to give it a try still and just push it forward until I get to find that light at the end of the tunnel. So maraming salamat mga kahappy. I'll call you mga kahappy because this is Lizette Sombrano for the Happy Night Project. Keep safe everyone till our next live. Salamat. Please like, subscribe, and share if you find this thing meaningful. Have a good one.